Hi guys, we are back with chapter 4 of the Silva Mind Control Method, Dynamic Meditation. So let's begin. The passive meditation you have just read about, and I hope you're about to experience, can be accomplished in other ways. Instead of concentrating on a visual image, you can concentrate on a sound such as Om or One or Amen, uttered aloud or mentally, or the feeling of your breathing. You can focus on an energy point of the body or on the beat of drums and dance, or you can listen to a sonorous Gregorian chant, or you gaze at the familiar enactment of a religious ritual. All of these methods, some combinations of them, will bring you to a calm, meditative level of mind. I prefer counting backward to get you there because at first it takes some concentration, and concentration is the key to success. All right, lost my mind. Let me see. Once you have reached your level several times with this method, the method will be associated in your mind with a successful result, and the process will become more automatic. Every successful result in mind control becomes what we call a reference point. We harken back to the experience consciously or unconsciously, repeat it, and go on from there. Once you have reached the meditative level, to simply stay there and wait for something to happen is not enough. It is beautiful and calming, and it does contribute to your good health, but these are modest accomplishments compared with what is possible. Go beyond this passive meditation. Train your mind for organized, dynamic activities, which I believe it was designed for, and the results will amaze you. I will make this point now because this is the moment for us to go beyond the passive meditation technique you've just read about and learn to use meditation dynamically to solve some problems. You will now see why the simple exercise of visualizing an apple or whatever else you choose on a mental screen is so important. Now, before you go to your level, think of something pleasant, no matter how trivial, that happened yesterday or today. Review it briefly in your mind. Then go well into your level and project onto your mental screen the total incident. What were the sights, the smell, the sounds, and your feelings at that time? All the details. You'll be surprised at the difference between your beta memory of the incident and your alpha recall of it. It is almost as great as the difference between saying the word swim and actually swimming. What is the value of this? First, it is a stepping stone to something bigger. And second, it is useful in itself. Here's how you can use it. Think of something you own that is not lost, but will take a little searching to find. Your car keys, perhaps. Are they in your bureau, your pocket, in the car? If you are not sure, go to your level, think back to when you had them last, and relive that moment. Now proceed forward in time, and you will locate them as if you were there when you left them. If someone else took them, you have another kind of problem to solve, which requires much more advanced techniques. Imagine the student who remembers his instructor saying there will be an exam this Wednesday. Or did he say next Wednesday? He can tell it for himself in alpha. These are typical of the small everyday problems that this simple meditation technique can solve. And now for the giant leap forward. We're going to connect a real event with a desirable one that you imagine, and see what becomes of the imaginary one. If you operate according to some very simple laws, the imaginary event will become real. Law 1. You must desire that the event take place. The first person I see on the sidewalk tomorrow will be blowing his nose. It is so useless a project to work on that your mind will turn away from it. It will probably not work. Your boss will be more agreeable. A certain customer will be more receptive to what you are selling. You will find satisfaction in a task you ordinarily find disagreeable. These are prospects that can engage a reasonable measure of desire. Law 2. You must believe the event can take place. If your customer is overstocked with what you sell, you can't reasonably believe he will be eager to buy. If you cannot believe the event can reasonably take place, your mind will be working against it. Law 3. You must expect the event to take place. This is a subtle law. The first two are simple and passive. This third one introduces some dynamics. It is possible to desire an event, believe it can take place, and still not expect it to take place. You want your boss to be pleasant tomorrow? You know that he can be, but you may still be some distance from expecting it. This is where mind control and effective visualization come in, as you will see in a moment. Law 4. You cannot create a problem. Not many, not, I'm sorry, not may not, but cannot. This is a basic all-controlling law. Wouldn't it be great if I could get my boss to make such an ass of himself that he'll be fired and I'll get his job? When you are working dynamically in alpha, you are in touch with your higher intelligence. And from the perspective of higher intelligence, it would not be great at all. You may trip over your boss and get him fired, but you will be entirely on your own and in beta. In alpha, it simply will not work. If at your meditative level, you try to tune into some kind of intelligence that will assist in an evil design, it will be fruitless as trying to tune a radio to a station that does not exist. Some accuse me of being a Pollyanna on this point. Thousands of people have smiled indulgently as I spoke of the utter impossibility of doing harm in alpha until they learn for themselves. There is plenty of evil on this planet, and we humans perpetrate it more than our share of it. This is done in beta, not alpha, not theta, and probably not in delta. My research has proved this. I never recommend wasting time, but if you must prove this for yourself, go to your level and try to give someone a headache. If you visualize this event as vividly as necessary to accomplish anything at all, one or both of the following will result. You, not your intended victim, will get the headache and or you will snap out of alpha. This does not answer all the questions you may have about the good and evil potentials of the mind. There will be more to say later. For the moment, choose an event that is a solution to a problem that you desire, believe can come about, and with the following exercise will learn to expect. Here is what to do. Choose a real problem that you face, one that has not yet resolved itself. As an illustration, let us say that your boss has been ill-tempered lately. There are 3 steps to go through once you reach your level. Step 1. On your mental screen, thoroughly recreate a recent event which involved the problem. Relive it for a moment. Step 2. Gently push this scene off screen to the right. Slide onto the screen another scene that will take place tomorrow. In this scene, everyone around the boss is cheerful and the boss is on the receiving end of good news. He is clearly in a better mood now. If you know specifically what is causing the problem, visualize the solution at work. Visualize it as vividly as you did the problem. Step 3. Now push this scene off the screen to the right and replace it with another one from the left. The boss is happy now, fully as pleasant as you know he can be. Experience this scene as vividly as if it actually happened. Stay with it for a while, get the full feel of it. Now, at the count of 5, you will be wide awake, feeling better than before. You can be confident that you have just put forces to work on you in the direction of creating the event you want. Will this work always, invariably, without a hitch? No. However, here's what you will experience if you keep at it. One of your very earliest problem-solving meditation sessions will work. When it does, who can say it's not a coincidence? After all, the event you chose had to be probable enough for you to believe it could materialize. Then it will work a second time and a third time. The coincidences will pile up. Abandon your mind control activities, and there will be fewer coincidences. Go back to it, and the coincidences must multiply again. Further, as you gradually increase your skill, you will notice that you will be able to believe and expect events that are less and less probable. In time, with practice, the results you achieve will be more and more outstanding. As you work on each problem, begin by briefly reliving your best previous successful experience. When an better successful experience comes along, drop the earlier one and use the better one as your reference point. This way, you will become better and better, to use a phrase with a specifically rich meaning for all of us in mind control. Tim Masters, a college student driver in Fort Lee, New Jersey, uses his waiting time between fares for meditation. When local business is slow, he puts a solution on his mental screen: someone carrying suitcases who wants to go to Kennedy Airport. First few tries, First few times I tried it, nothing. Then it happened. A man with a suitcase going to Kennedy. Next time I put this man on my screen, I got the feeling you get when things are working. And along came another one for Kennedy. It works. It's like winning a streak that won't quit. Now, before we move on to the other exercises and techniques, let me take note of something you probably wonder about. Why do we move scenes from left to right on our mental screens? I can take note of the question here, but it will be dealt with in more detail later. My experiments have shown that the deeper levels of our mind experience time flowing from left to right. In other words, the future is perceived as being on our left and the past on our right. It is tempting to go into this now. There are other things to do beforehand. That's the end of chapter 4. We'll start off with chapter 5 next time: improving memory. I'll see you guys later.